as a handle on Twitter, and also 1760 Shoko. Please get interactive. Give us those comments.
Yeah. All right, stay with us quickly. We'll bring you the latest headline news.
Well, so we're supposed to have an announcement made. Please.
We'll bring you headlines.
Okay, that's all. It's nothing strange, really.
Well, this year's May-June West Africa Senior School Certificate Examination begins today. In all, 242,152 candidates, comprising 126,919 males and 115,238 females, are expected to write the examination at 809 centers in different parts of the country. The Ashanti region is presenting the highest number of 62,422 candidates, while the Upper West is presenting the lowest of 4,868. The Eastern region follows the Ashanti region with 35,782 candidates, while the Greater Accra region presents 27,204 candidates.
We'll have to go to the court, where the Financial Division of the High Court will, on April 17, 2014, rule on the submission of no case filed by businessman Alfred Agbasi Woyome on the 51.2 million Ghana cedi judgment debt saga. The presiding judge, Justice John Ayet Nassam, announced the date after the parties had been heard in camera on Monday. Mr. Ayet Nassam, or Justice Ayed Nassam, had earlier directed the state to file its response to the businessman's claim to enable the court to rule on the application. The state, in honoring its promise, filed all the necessary papers indicating that Mr. Iwoyome had a case to answer. Iwoyome is standing trial for willfully causing financial loss to the state and defrauding by false pretenses. He obtained a 51.2 million Ghana cedi judgment debt payment in June 2010, by the state contends the payment was obtained fraudulently. Well, so those are the latest we have by way of the stories. Please always get interactive. If you have any comments on the stories we have been giving you, and please get interactive. Join us on TV is a page on Facebook. We have the public relations manager of the West African Examination Council, Agnes Tekujo, on the line, and we would want to get a lot more insight, because on the subject of the WASI examinations that is starting from today. And a very good morning to you, madam.
Good morning.
Okay, nice hearing from you. Now, how many candidates will be sitting for the West African Senior School Certificate Examination, which is beginning today?
We have about 242,000 candidates.
Okay. How are they spread? Do you have the details with you currently?
No, I'm on my way to the office. I don't have them.
The last time there were concerns about the performance of the candidates nationwide. Is that an issue for you as an examination body?
Well, as an examination body, we are always interested in the performance of candidates. So at the end of every exam, we come out with the statistics on the performance of candidates, and we inform all the various stakeholders for them to put in the necessary measures to improve performance. So we are not only interested in organizing exams. When you organize the exam, it's your wish that the candidates who take the exam do well. So we hope that they will do better this year, and that there will be better performance in mathematics, English, and the science. Yes.
Now, particularly those very subjects you've mentioned, what is the sort of collaboration between your council and the educational authorities to make sure that teaching and learning on those subjects are strengthened?
As I mentioned to you earlier, we always provide the stakeholders, such as the Ministry of Education, Ghana Education Service, and the various teacher subject associations with the statistics on performance of candidates in all subjects. So we do that, and we believe that they take these statistics seriously, and they work with the information that we give them.
The academic year preceding this one, during the writing of those examinations, some of those papers, some of those days were characterized by the council announcing in the media that some of those candidates had their papers cancelled because there were some leakages, etc. True or not? And how have you improved on all those anomalies?
Well, last year we had a case where we had to cancel. Candidates had to rewrite their geography papers. So we re-administered the papers to them. We have looked back at our measures or whatever it is that we do as an examining body to ensure that the exams are conducted successfully. And I believe that we have done better this year, and we expect that with cooperation and collaboration from everyone, because the council, they do its part, but then we also depend on third parties to conduct successful examinations. So we hope that with the various interactions that we've had, and the sensitization programs that we've held, things have gone down well. The message has gone down well that it doesn't do anyone any good when papers are cancelled, that the exams will be successful.
Now, of concern to many educationists is the number of resits that we tend to have. And as a council, are you also worried about it?
Well, if candidates don't learn, then they don't pass. So I think that if the schools are giving the candidates all the necessary information that they need to give them, and the candidates are not learning, they spend all their time doing unnecessary things, then they will not do well. So I think that it behoves on everyone. Teachers are doing their part, school authorities are doing, parents are putting in all that they can to ensure that their children or their wards get good education. It's up to the students to sit down and learn. It is only when you sit down and you learn that you can pass. You don't expect to spend your profitable time adding away, being on Facebook, WhatsApping, doing unnecessary things and expect to pass. So if when students don't pass, that is when they have to resist their papers. So every one of them, those who have been idling away, they still have some time before every paper, time in between, for them to sit down and study, and then they'll pass.
Over the last couple of years, WAEC has introduced better technological means for students to get access to their results, etc., or even, let's say, even sitting, because they would have to write oral examinations in the process. What new innovations have you added this time around?
Well, with the conduct of this year's exam, what I will say is that this year, the exam is starting at 8:30 GMT instead of 9. So 9 hours. So this year, they are starting the exam 30 minutes ahead of the previous year. So we have communicated this well ahead of time to all supervisors, all vigilants, all candidates, for them to know that this year the exam is starting at 8:30 GMT in all the member countries of WAEC, and also at 13 hours GMT for the afternoon papers. That's one major change that we've had this year. Another major change is that we have revised our rules for bringing in mobile phones to the exam hall. Last year or the previous years, when you bring in a mobile phone to the exam hall, you lose that paper, the results for that paper. Now, because we've realized that candidates use their mobile phones to perpetrate all kinds of examination malpractices, we have increased the penalty has been strengthened such that when you bring in a mobile phone from 2014, you lose your entire results. We have also done enough publicity on that, and the candidates are aware about that. So we want to use this opportunity to tell them or tell parents or whoever it is that is listening to us, if you have a brother, a sister, a one child writing the exam, tell them not to bring their mobile phone to the exam hall. So when they do that, their entire results will be cancelled.
There will be the critics out there who will say that this very directive is harsh. Don't you think so? Why is it
harsh? No, why is it harsh? It's not harsh. It's a rule, and that's the penalty. So if you don't want the penalty to be inflicted on you, you don't break that rule. That is it. I mean, what are you doing with a mobile phone in an exam hall? You don't need it.
If
you are sitting in an airplane, they tell you to put all phones off. We all obey, don't we? Because for our own safety and for the safety of the aircraft. So, it is the same thing. We are saying that you don't need a mobile phone in the exam hall for no reason at all. You have a phone, put it outside the exam hall for the 3 hours or so that you are writing your paper. Afterwards, you take it. Why do you need it? You only bring it in when you want to use it to do the wrong thing. And when you do the wrong thing, we will not let you go scot-free. We will cancel your entire result. And I don't think it's harsh.
And before we let you go, we know that the Electricity Company of Ghana is undertaking a power rationing program. And since you'll be using a lot more electrical gadgets to undertake the initial phases of the exam, if they are light out, what preparations have you directed the schools to make?
I believe that the schools will be adequately prepared. They know the circumstances in which we are as a nation. And I believe that most of the schools would have standby generators just in case the power or ECG shuts down or there's a power failure. So I believe the schools are adequately prepared and we should not have any problem.
Well, thank you very much. Agnes Kujo is the Public Relations Manager for the West African Examination Council. Well, so let me just again run by you. In all, we're going to have 242,152 candidates comprising 126,919 males and 115,238 females expected to write the examination at 809 centers in different parts of the country. The Ashanti region is representing the highest number of 62,422 candidates, while the Upper West region is representing in the examination with the lowest of 4,868 candidates. The Eastern region follows Ashanti with 35,000, Greater Accra 27,000, and so we have them in the mix as we go. And so we'll inform you as and when we can within the show.
But you know that meanwhile the Minister of Education, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, in a goodwill message to the candidates, has wished them good luck and God's guidance throughout the examination. Well, the minister urged the candidates to conduct themselves properly in accordance with the rules and regulations governing the examination. She also entreated all supervisors and invigilators to be vigilant and ensure that the right atmosphere was created at all times during the examination for candidates not to be distracted in any way. But particularly I like what Agnes was saying about the mobile phones. And I think parents and guardians should take note of this. Okay. You know,
the initial thing was the last academic year, if you were caught, that very paper was cancelled. But now you're going to have your entire results cancelled.
Which is very serious. I mean, even if you
but that's unfair.
No, that is fair. I mean,
fair.
Yeah, that's the rules and regulations governing the examination that you're
feel that is unfair.
But to keep your phone, I mean, they're not saying don't have a mobile phone at all. That's your personal choice.
Don't bring it to the examination hall.
Don't bring it to the exam hall. And for just for the period that you're writing the exam, I think it's fair. Besides, what would you be doing with the mobile phone anyway? Well, if it rings or if somebody, even if it's on silent or vibration, it will be distracting you, you know? So I think it's
I get your drift or your argument. I just feel that the punitive measures are very much unfair and too much punitive for the candidates. But that's the directive from the West African Examination Council. And so we have the West Africa School Certificate Examinations. So that is for that very level of examination for senior high school students starting today. And we wish all of you, wherever you are, a good examination period. and we hope that you have prepared adequately for today's examination.
All right, so you're still watching the AM show, and you know we do the Ministry of Health actually is embarking on a trip sort of to the Nsawam prisons, and we do have the PRO of the ministry joining us. Tony Goodman is on the phone line now. Hello, good morning to you. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, let's understand this whole trip to the Nsawam prison.
Thank you very much. Last year, the Honorable Minister of Health, Honorable Sharia, launched what we call mobile medical screening outreach or medical outreach program in this country. This is just to take healthcare closer to the people. This is to, as much as possible, give some services to some vulnerable persons in our society. We've visited the scrap dealers. We've taken care of some street children and other neglected children. We've also taken care of Kayaye. And this time around, the Honorable Minister wants us to go to the prisons and be able to also give some quality health care to our brothers and sisters there. There are about 4,000. This will not only provide quality health care to them, but will also give us some bio data as to what will go into their facility there. So this is why the Honorable Minister has decided to back upon this new journey.
All right, so would we see only the Nsawam prisons benefiting from this?
No, we have begun. We will go to every part of this country. We will try as much as possible to go to the hinterland. We will also be available for churches, communities that would want to access this particular facility. We have about 8 medical vans, 2 ear, nose and throat van, which is a specialist care. We have ophthalmology or eye care van, which is also a specialist care. We also have dental van, a specialist care, and general medicine. So in all, we have about 8 medical ambulance, medical vans that will be going to every part of this country to provide what we call doorstep healthcare to our people.
You know, some have argued that if you equipped the major hospitals and indeed clinics in the various towns very well, there will not be the need for some of these things.
I would disagree with them. Healthcare, you need to adopt a lot of strategies. Multiplicity of strategies is what the ministry is looking at. We are equipping our facility. We are making sure we put up infrastructure. But you should also look at how people would be willing to access some of those facilities put around. So at times you even go to when we had this medical outreach at Ifwatadalam Park for our market women. Most of them couldn't turn up because they are interested in what they are doing in the market and to go and take care of their health. So we think that going to the people will be the best thing for us to do. All over the world, that is a strategy they are adopting, and Ghana cannot exempt itself back to be part of this.
So essentially, you're taking the hospital to them wherever they may be, but this must be expensive. Where are you getting funding from?
Thank you very much. What we are doing is that we are also trying to get a lot of people onto the National Health Insurance Scheme. Wherever we went, there was this health insurance personnel who were also following. They were registering people. We are looking in the future to have everybody who will be accessing this outreach care to have some insurance to be able to receive this care. So wherever we went, we're able to register people, give people the opportunity to register. For now, we are just looking at what we have, some medicines that would have sent to maybe a hospital around Sawam, we'll look at what we have there, take part, the personnel who will do this for us voluntarily, we'll take them. We have Red Cross as part of the medical team and other persons who are really doing things for Mother Ghana.
All right, so we would definitely spot one of your vehicles at the Nsawam prisons today, would we?
You would put about 5 of them. We are going there with about 5 of them. If you look at the number, we're going to screen them, provide care to. It's a very huge number, 4,000 inmates. So we cannot but take about 5 vans there, and we'll be expecting you to be there and cover this for the people of this country.
All right, Mr. Goodman.
Yes.
I was going to say...
We are starting today and we're going to end on Friday.
Okay. So the whole of this week you're dedicated to the Nsawam prisons?
Yes, we have to. You would also recall that just recently we have some issues of what we call how we provide care to our people at our correctional centers, which is also at Hague now. They are trying to look at what Ghana is doing. So this is just coming at a better time for us as a ministry.
All right, Mr. Tony Goodman, I'd like to say thank you so much for your time this morning. Thank you. All right, so Tony Goodman there on the Ministry of Health. He's actually the PRO of the Ministry of Health. And as you just heard, the ministry is embarking on some outreach programs in various towns and villages across the country. Today, the whole of this week, they are in Nsawam prisons. They are going to be taking care of over 4,000 persons in the prisons.
Well, the latest is that the Progressive People's Party, they have filed a writ against the Attorney General at the Supreme Court, praying it to compel the government to enforce the free aspect of the free compulsory universal basic education policy. And according to the party, successive government had only between January 1993 and January 2005 to complete the rollout of the F-Cube, and so far that has not been done, even though it's being stipulated in the Constitution. We have Papa Akon, Paco. Okay, we have Paco Akon. He's the Deputy National Secretary of the PPP. A very good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother.
Okay, you're the Deputy National Secretary.
That is correct.
Okay, good. Why are you sending government to court on the FQ program? After all, it's in the Constitution, and as stated within the Constitution, it's supposed to be progressive.
First of all, let me say good morning to your listeners and your viewers, and thank you for the opportunity. Let me also say that this court action we are pursuing is not for our own selfish interest, but for the very good people of this country, the many children who have been denied their fundamental human rights and the right to pursue education. First of all, you see, if you look at the 1992 Constitution, as you rightly indicated, Article 25(1)(a) and 38(2) of the Constitution talks about the fundamental things that as a government we are supposed to do to guarantee the future of our children. If you look at 38, for example, the 38 gives the time frame. And with your permission, let me read. 38(2) says that the government shall within 2 years after Parliament first meets, after the coming into force of this Constitution, draw up a program for implementation within the following 10 years for the provision of free, compulsory, and universal basic education. This is very clear. And we all know that Parliament met in 1993. And when Parliament met in 1993, it was given a time frame of 2 years to draw up the FQ program. And we all know that in 1995, the FQ program was drawn. So, and it was adopted and approved by Parliament. So we all expect, or we're all expecting, that by 2005, because the Constitution says that 10 years, so from 1995 to 2005, this should have been achieved. This should have been achieved. If you have not enforced this fundamental right, why do you bypass it and talk about enforcing a progressively free senior high school? That is all we are talking about. We are not talking about senior high school. We are talking about FG, free compulsory universal basic education. And the Constitution defines basic as from kindergarten or from primary school up to the junior high school level. That is very clear.
Well, Paco, if I get your point correctly, it will make some sense if perhaps also we tend to be very straightforward as far as a very pronouncement as a people are on this very subject of F-cube and provision of free senior high school, etc. Because the whole point about it is that not too long ago, the leader of your party and even the national executive of your party were having this very refrain, congratulating the president for implementing the free or, you know, promising to implement that very policy, free SHS, and already we're having FQ being implemented in a gradual process at the basic level. By that very time frame, 2015-2016. Now, why are you backtracking from that very recommendation or commendation you have given the president, and now intending to take the government to court?
No, we are not backtracking. Of course, in the 2012 election, we all spoke about providing free compulsory senior high school for our yes, free secondary school education for our children. But the point is that we all know that for the last 10 years and over 1.5 million Ghanaian children have been denied the right to senior high school. You get my point. The issue is that we must get the fundamentals correct. Every child must be given free basic education. When that is achieved, then we can equally think about how we would implement the secondary school education. We have identified
so now for you, free SHS should not be the subject we should be talking about now. Is that it?
You can't do free SHS.
So why did the leadership of your party commend the president for announcing that very policy directive that will be implemented in 2015-2016?
That is what I'm saying, that in the 2012 election, we spoke about providing free SHS for our children. Now we have sat back and we've looked into the Constitution and we realized that this fundamental right has been denied many of our children.
Okay, have you already filed the case in court?
Yes, we did that yesterday.
And when are you getting a hearing?
Yes, you know, when you file a case at the Supreme Court, the other side, which is the Attorney General, they are supposed to enter defense, and that is supposed to be done within 10 days. When that is done, the Supreme Court will now decide on the date for hearing.
Okay.
So that is what we are waiting for.
Well, thank you very much. Papa Kowakon is the Deputy National Secretary for the PPP. Thanks for joining us this morning. Speaking on the subject of writs you had filed against the Attorney General at the Supreme Court, praying for the court to compel government to enforce the F-cube policy. Okay.
I'm just thinking, what if government says, yeah, we are ready to, but we don't have the funds?
There's nothing anybody can do about it.
All right, stay with us. Still on the AM show time now for you to go grab your mug of mixed coffee. Join Roland Walker with AM Talk, which is up shortly.
We'll stay home right back.